Welcome to the Know, I'm Ashley. Battlefield 5 is being delayed by a month, with the developers saying it needs some time to make adjustments in the game. DICE General Manager Oscar Gabrielson says the game's been pushed back to November 20th of this year. He wrote in a blog post that we're going to take the time to continue to make some final adjustments to core gameplay and to ensure we really deliver on the potential of Tides of War. Tides of War is the game's new content system that's going to replace the premium pass in previous games. Of course, there may also be another reason for this. DICE and EA originally planned to release Battlefield 5 to a very crowded October field, which led many to predict that it would be the game getting overshadowed by all the others, that it would be this year's Titanfall 2, essentially. The game's initial release date of October 19th would have put it right between two other very high-profile games, Black Ops 4, which is releasing October 12th, and Red Dead Redemption 2, which comes out 2 weeks later on October 26th. One analyst has said that Battlefield 5's pre-orders were 85% behind Black Ops 4 based on GameStop's data, so this is probably a move to give the game maybe a little bit more space to itself. All it has to compete with is Pokemon, and I think those audiences are a little bit different. DICE, however, says the open beta for Battlefield 5 is still going to start on September 6th, so that is not moving. Hey, fun breaking news, guys! The folks over at Denuvo apparently know their anti-piracy software doesn't work that great, but while they admit their software gets cracked like all the time, a company representative said that their goal is to protect initial sales of games. Those comments were made by Denuvo sales director Elmar Fisher, who told GamesIndustry.biz, games will be cracked at certain points, there is no uncrackable product, but what we do is protect the initial sales. Of course, Denuvo would know it gets regularly cracked within days of high-profile new game releases. Gamers also kind of dislike it even if they bought the game legitimately and don't need cracked versions, because it seems to cause a lot of performance issues in the games that it's protecting. And all that leads to the question, honestly, how effective is Denuvo really if it gets cracked so quickly and causes so many downsides for legitimate purchasers? Not surprisingly, Fisher said, "For the games we protect, I think we have a huge impact, especially if we secure the initial sales window, then we see a dramatic impact on the game and also the revenue when you compare it to other games that have been cracked immediately, but for the industry as a whole, it's very tough to answer." Far Cry 5 is adding a new difficulty level and a new Game Plus mode in its latest update. The update, which is now live, by the way, so you can get it right now, lets you start a new game if you finish the campaign. You're not going to lose any of your gear, upgrades, anything like that. Ubisoft says you can replay the campaign in New Game Plus as many times as you want while continuing to upgrade your character every playthrough, because that's definitely what you need. The New Game Plus will also let you stack some existing perks, which means you're going to be able to use spare perk points to further improve your abilities, so you'll be able to add more ammo capacity, further reduce cooldowns for your weapons. Meanwhile, the update also adds an infamous difficulty setting, which means the enemy AI has more health, hits harder, and will react quicker. But if you beat the game on infamous difficulty, there is a reward, a new Rook outfit for your character. That way, all the AI will know that you're a total badass, right? I mean, look, they will. It's going to be hard not to when you are so overpowered. And like we said, the update is out now if you want to get going on that infamous thing. We finally got a release date for Spelunky 2, or, well, okay, at least a release window. A release year. It's a start. The PlayStation blog interviewed creator Derek Yu and mentioned the game will be out sometime next year. The sequel to the very well-received 2008 indie platformer will feature rideable mounts and online multiplayer, and Yu said that while there are some new features, at its core, Spelunky 2 is not too different from the first game. He added, "My opinion about sequels is that they are extensions of the previous games, so I want fans of Spelunky 1 to jump in and feel like they're playing a continuation, both story-wise and mechanically." Everyone's favorite droid general is coming to Star Wars Battlefront 2. Surprise! EA released a new roadmap for the game, and that includes General Grievous, who will be joining as a dark side hero in October. Not to be outdone, the good guys will get Obi-Wan Kenobi in November. EA also announced more content for the game, including a new squad system that will let you spawn on your squad members. EA said the new system is aimed to encourage team play and called it an improved and streamlined way for players to stick together. And this winter, Count Dooku and Anakin Skywalker are joining the game as heroes, as well as a new game mode where two teams battle for capture points and to ultimately bring down capital ships. So, hi, at least they're still adding to it. After years of waiting, the survival game The Forest finally has a release date on PlayStation 4. According to the PlayStation blog, the long-awaited game is releasing November 6th. The game puts you in the role of a father who's looking for his missing son after you both survive a plane crash. Since it's a survival game, you'll have to do things like look for food and water, build a shelter, and you'll also need to craft weapons because, hey, there are bad things lurking in the jungle. The game launched on PC in May after years in early access, and while the PlayStation 4 release was originally planned for 2015, hey, nice to see it is finally coming. And hey, this is gonna be fun. You ready for Dream Daddy, the comic book? I bet you are. We all are. Good, because it's happening. Paste Magazine reports that Oni Press acquired the rights to publish comics based on the dating sim game, and the first comic is available now on Comixology and other digital platforms. There will be a total of 5 issues, each of which will explore some of the dating scenarios from the game. Co-creator Leighton Gray said, "It's always been a dream of mine to work on a comic book series. I couldn't be happier that we get to make all these cool new dad stories with such cool people." So many dads. Hey, Michael Jackson would have turned 60 this year, so to celebrate, hey, we're getting to see Thriller on the big screen, and I do mean big screen. IMAX is going to have a special week-long engagement of the remastered music video starting September 21st, and it's going to be shown in 3D to boot, so that should be interesting. Thriller 3D will be shown before screenings of the upcoming family-oriented The House with a Clock in Its Walls. So you have 3D, a new Atmos soundtrack, new remastered picture from the original camera negatives. That means you're going to get real grizzled ghouls from every tomb, like almost literally feeling like they are all around you. That's gonna be fun. And they're gonna bring the dance back. It's a new day, so you know what that means. Time for another movie for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to star in. Of course, he's all the stars now. He is currently in the middle of shooting his Jungle Cruise movie for Disney. He's got his Fast and the Furious spinoff with Jason Statham in the works right after that, and also his much discussed Black Adam movie for DC. Fully earning the title of hardest working man in show business, he's already lining up another movie. Deadline reports that Johnson will star in a film called The King, a historical epic about Hawaiian King Kamehameha. The project already has a damn good pedigree to it. Back to the Future's Robert Zemeckis is attached to direct a script by Braveheart screenwriter Randall Wallace. This has been a long-time dream project for Johnson, who is himself a Pacific Islander, and his production company's been quietly building this package up since he was actually in Hawaii filming Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. Many studios wanted to make it, but The Rock and his team chose Warner Brothers and New Line, who he just worked with on Rampage. The film is expected to shoot sometime in 2020, so there is going to be a bit of a wait on this one. It means we probably won't see it on the screen for at least another 3 years, but hey, it's in the works. You remember a few days ago, this is awkward, we reported Alec Baldwin in the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. That was the case at the time, I guess, but not anymore. That was real quick. He was reportedly playing the Batman's daddy, Thomas Wayne, and also reportedly playing him as, more of like a spray tan, sleazy, shady kind of real estate mogul. Wonder who could have been the inspiration for that. Anyway, Baldwin took to social media to deny he's playing the character like his SNL Donald Trump impersonation, and then quickly just dropped out of the project altogether. He told USA Today that he's no longer doing that movie and cited scheduling issues as the reason why he had to drop out. The movie is only 2 weeks away from shooting, which is nuts, but Baldwin's not really sweating the last-minute departure. "I'm sure there are 25 guys who can play that part," he said. With the production so close to getting underway, I'm sure we're going to be hearing very, very quickly about a replacement for that character, but man, that's going to be a real weird one. Alright, that's all the news for today. Let us know what you think of every update in this roundup. To make sure you get all the crazy news from every corner of the internet every weekday, like this video, and if you're new to this channel, subscribe to the know. Honestly, how effective is Denuvo really if it gets cracked so quickly and causes so many downsides for legitimate purchasers? Not surprisingly, Fisher said, that's tough to answer. He said, "For the games we protect, we think we have a huge impact, especially if we secure the initial sales window, then we see a dramatic..." What's that?